A stranger claimed to be my husband's son at his funeral, but I knew he was lying.
You're not my son, you're not my son, you're not my son.
My life was turned upside down last month when I was informed of my husband's passing in a work-related accident. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
That's terrible.
I mean, was it kind of metal? Like, it's terrible, but like, was it like, wow? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a cool way. Like,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go out riding a roller coaster. How fun. I'd be like, what?
This would, of course, be hard enough to cope with, but shortly before the funeral, a young man at my house claiming to be my late husband's son arrived. What? That was in the
Okay.
middle of the set. What?
Oh.
Wait.
To be clear, what I'm talking about is like imagine you're like a cattle rustler and you get into you're trying to get
Yeah.
like a big like alpha like bull in a headlock, and you guys both like exhaust each other at the same time, and they both like pass away instantaneously at the same time. That would be pretty freaking metal.
I feel like then in the afterlife, you always have like the one hand is in like a handcuff and you're handcuffed to the other person
Nah,
for
bro,
life.
that guy's afterlife, he becomes constellation, and
They become a
fighting.
constellation.
They're fighting in the sky.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway No Stepson. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my husband didn't speak a word about him to me. He claimed to have not known about me or either of my daughters, 12 and 8, until he was notified of my husband's passing and found the obituary in the online version of our local paper. The young man was 18 and might have been born before I met my husband. He also claimed his own mother passed away years ago and was never, to his memory, in a relationship with my husband. So the boy's existence is not proof of infidelity on my husband's part. But maybe he didn't know about his son. Like maybe he was with someone and then they split up and then she had the kid.
And never told him about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Ooh, a little I don't know. I had too many things in my mind, so I'll just say nothing.
However, I still feel just as betrayed. My husband never breathed a word of him to me. This boy lived in the UK where my husband sometimes worked. I live in the US. Traveled a lot in his line of work, and I can't help but wonder how many other secret children did he have? How many times did my husband visit this boy and never told me about it? What else was he not telling me? Oh, this boy had pictures with himself and my husband at various ages. Okay, so no,
Whoa.
husband definitely knew. Tough.
Oh my god, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, that's double life.
And you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, he's
gone.
gone. So you just have to
Live with it.
now you're Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
He says he was brought up at a boarding school and my husband visited him sometimes. Though I very much want to, I have no reason to doubt his story. The boy asked to come to the funeral, and I want to say no, but I feel like I have no right. My kids see me talking to the stranger and poked their heads in to ask what was going on. Before I could stop him, the boy introduced himself to them as their half-brother. That is... I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't
That
like
is pretty
how he-
disrespectful of him.
Yeah.
I would have deferred to mom and said, hey, how do you want to tell them? Because that's not okay to do.
Especially, I don't even know how old these kids are.
They just met him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, how old are these kids? Being
Yeah.
oh, hi, they could be 7.
I would imagine they're at least,
Double digits.
under 15 somewhere.
Under 15.
Now, not only do I have to figure out how to cope with all of this information myself, but I also have to find some way to explain it to my children. My 8-year-old doesn't seem to get the full implications of her father keeping this kind of secret from all of us, but my 12-year-old is clearly upset, although she won't talk about it with me. At the funeral, the boy kind of lurked in the corner, but when lunch was served afterwards, he approached both my girls and was playing games like tag with my 8-year-old and some of her friends who joined in.
8?
Yeah, it was 8 and 12.
Mm.
I didn't think this was appropriate, and when I told him so, he apologized and said he did it to raise her spirits. And it's what people did for him when his mother passed away to cheer him up. Something about his answer irked me, and I got the impression he was trying to manipulate me into feeling sorry for him and using my children to do it. I think you might be reading into this just a little too much.
Yeah, I think you're mad at your husband.
Yes.
Because he led this secret life that you didn't know, and you're kind of taking it out on this boy who's that was my dad, I'm just here to celebrate him, and maybe take some stress away from you by like
Yeah.
distracting the kids.
100% agree. He's just like, I was just trying to play with your kids to help out.
She's like, that's inappropriate.
She's like, you're hiding something.
They should be
Sad.
really, really upset right now. They should be sobbing.
My mom and my sister came over to help me after I got the news about my husband. Of course, I talked to them about what was going on, and they were shocked. My mom brought up the point that the boy might be after money. All of our important assets were in both of our names, and I am the only beneficiary of his life insurance policy, but I wasn't sure what could happen if he tried to sue. I mean, he deserves... I mean, I guess you don't legally have to give him anything if nothing was left in the will for him, but he might have like a little bit of a leg to stand on in terms of a lawsuit if he wasn't even given anything. I feel like this is your husband's son. He's 18. Could maybe help him somewhat. Both of his parents are passed away.
Yeah.
I asked the boy frankly if money is what he was after, and he said, no, I couldn't take any of your money. You have kids to take care of. It irked me the way he said that, as if I was offering money and he was trying to show how good he was by turning it down.
Girl!
Really?
I mean, everything is an issue.
Oh my goodness. You would have thought he was doing something bad if he took the money. Now he's doing something bad because he didn't take the money.
This is a lose-lose situation in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, any way he goes around this, like, if he didn't interact with the kids, would it be bad? But now he's interacting with the kids.
He avoided them.
Yeah. It's like, I don't
want to invade your life. And she's like, I can't believe he would just abandon us.
Yeah, and it's like, there's like nothing you could do. You just have to sit there.
Yeah, I think he just wants a connection.
OP just truly doesn't like the cut of this guy's jib.
Certainly not.
It's not his jib.
Okay, so this Reddit post reads, my ex hid a child from me. Now he wants to co-parent.
Whoa, that's heavy. But honestly, kind of know what they should do.
Really? What?
He should take that kid to the OK Storytime live show May 23rd at the Straight Theater at 7 p.m.
How is that advice?
I wouldn't want to co-parent a kid who can't like comedy.
You know what? That's actually a great point. How do they get tickets?
They just have to go to okop.show. Tickets are $20. This is our first ever live event, guys. We need to see you there.
It felt as though he expected me to give it to him anyway. I asked the boy what he wanted, and he said he wanted to get to know my children because they're his sisters. What do you mean they're his sisters? In my opinion, they might be his sisters, but he's a stranger to them, regardless of a biological relation. Apparently, at the funeral, he told my 8-year-old he was going to ask me if he could take my girls to the aquarium, and so that got her hopes up about it before I could even make my decision. I said yes, only if my mom or sister went with them, because I wasn't about to let my girls go with a strange man, no matter what. Very valid.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Over the next week, he also took my girls to the park, ice cream place, and the lake, with my sister as a chaperone every time. I agreed to this, and it was helpful because it gave me a chance to break down and cry to my mom without the girls around. When he left and my 8-year-old hugged him and told him not to go, and he said, I promise I'll come visit again, I stepped in and said, no, I think it would be best if you didn't come back here.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I was about to say, Schmed says, as someone who's been in a weird situation, I'm on OP's side too. She has to be concerned.
I mean, yes.
Absolutely, this is a stranger. I think OP's hurting. She just lost her husband. She just found out her husband has kept a secret for 18 years.
Yeah.
But I also, regardless of OP's anger and how warranted or explainable it is, I would advise OP to take a look at that and understand where it's coming from, because I think this guy is genuinely just trying to be nice.
Yeah, I would say come back to this post in like a month or two and be like, oh wow, I was in a really different place. Like, because I feel like what he's doing, maybe he might be overstepping. Well, I think he did overstep by like introducing himself to the kids and whatever. I think that was an overstep. And then also like kind of saying like, oh, like, I promise I'll be back. Like, you'll see me again, you know, all that stuff. Like, it is weird when you don't know him and then he's just trying to be like, here's who I am and you have to accept it. And this is what it is now. Like, I think that is weird. I see both sides. I don't think what he's doing is like the worst thing in the world. I think he just also feels kind of lost because maybe why you weren't introduced to him. Like, I don't know the reasoning behind all this.
Yeah.
And I hope we do get an answer because I want to know.
He looked hurt and my 8-year-old cried, but I was sick of him promising things without getting approval. Also fair. She thinks it's a cool mystery, like from a TV show, that she has a secret brother, and she doesn't realize how disturbing it is that her father hid his existence, which isn't his fault.
Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, but it's time to move forward. Yeah. Oh my God, it's disturbing. Are you gonna hang on to that forever?
Well, I mean, OP did just find out. So I feel like a little bit of to be expected, but my advice is still, can we take that in, understand where that pain is coming from, and then...
I just want you to stop hating on this guy's jib.
He seems nice.
He's got a good jib.
Yeah.
Jibby.
My sister asked me later why I told him not to come back, and I told her, I think the whole thing is weird. I don't know this boy or his real intentions. He could be some kind of weirdo trying to get my girls alone. Well, just don't let him be alone with your girls.
It's kind of 100% on you as the parent if you just let a strange 18-year-old be around your children unsupervised.
And just claiming to be like, oh, I'm their half-brother.
My sister says I judged without ever getting to know him, and he seems like a very sweet young man. He grew up mostly without a family, and he could have been jealous that my girls got all his father's attention, but instead he wanted to connect with them. My opinion is that even if those are his intentions, and he's totally innocent, I still don't want him around my home or my girls. To me, he's just proof that my husband lied to me for years, and it makes me sick to look at him.
Bro!
Yeah, you gotta get help.
Have you seen Game of Thrones, dog?
Ooh, you gotta get help, girl.
You've got a little Jon Snow at your front door right now, and you're gonna shun him?
He is gonna save everyone. I didn't see the rest of Game of Thrones, but I think so.
They killed the wolf, and I was...
I can't say anything.
I didn't see... I stopped at season 5. I don't know if
I stopped
John...
after the second episode. They killed the dog, and I was like, yeah, no. And then I was like, you know what? I'll give it another chance. And then the next episode, they killed the horse. I said, okay, this isn't for me.
My girls don't need this drama either. And even my 8-year-old is going to be traumatized when she's old enough to realize how much her dad was hiding.
Yeah.
Necessarily true.
That is entirely up to you.
Yeah, that's like fully how... it's not like exactly how trauma works. Not saying that's not possible, but like...
It's like being like, once I explain the concept of like life doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
They'll be scarred. Well, it just depends on how you lay it out in front of them.
Trauma, not that it can't happen, but usually trauma is like an in the moment kind of thing. So in the moment, when you explain it, be gentle. Me or my girls don't owe him anything. My sis says that I don't have to want him in my life, but I don't have the right to deny the girls their brother. She pointed out social workers do everything they can to avoid separating siblings because of the trauma. I said it's not the same thing because my girls have only known this brother for a week. And they seem like they're already bonding.
Yeah, that doesn't actually matter at all in every case.
My sister said it's also important because my girl's brother is now the only person they know of their culture. My husband was like 1/8 Hawaiian, the rest white and Asian, and so the girls and their brother are like 1/16. The boy appears to be white, and my daughters and I are black. But this boy was raised in the UK and isn't part of Hawaiian culture. And honestly, I think culture is something natural and not something to force because of your genetics. Okay.
So even if he does turn out to be like that he's telling the truth and he is like, you know, the long lost son or whatever, are you gonna like be mad at him?
I mean, she's already said, yeah. Like she blames this kid, like she sees this kid as the personification of her husband's lie.
It's like, I wanted to celebrate my dad's life. I didn't mean to cause any of this like uproar of emotions.
My girls don't live in Hawaii, they live in Oregon. So that is their culture, not black culture or Hawaiian culture. I don't force myself or my girls to participate in African cultures just because of our genetics. I cannot tell you how to live your life.
I'll tell you.
I don't love that.
I'll tell you right now. Culture is mostly defined by geography, socioeconomics, the interconnection of those two things with the language of the area. That's like a baseline of how a culture is built. And whether you identify with it based on where your genetics are from is up to you, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But for OP's case, I think if their family, if they had any kind of family who lived in Hawaii, I think it would be nice to teach them a little bit about it just for educational purposes.
I mean,
it's always nice to learn about things. I like learning about where I come from.
In this day and age, I mean, you want to... in my opinion, I am always accepting of people, and, you know, sometimes it bites me in the butt, but, you know, like, I rather be accepting than, like, denying.
Going back to the son.
What?
Are you going back to the son?
Yeah. Of being like, not saying that he's gonna, like, persuade. It's like how some of those stories, like, you know, oh, my gay sister is gonna, you know, like convince me to be gay now or something. Like, it's like stuff like that. Like, that's not what happens. I don't know. Like, nobody is like forcing anything on anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that it's nice to learn about other cultures because then you know the differences and maybe that interests you more and, like, you know, go and do it. Like, same with, like, you know, religions. Like, Christianity, like, doesn't really interest me, but, like, I love, like, a lot of stuff that, like, is like Buddhist and all
Yeah.
that. Like it's really cool. Like to or to just educate yourself on what different cultures have to,
exactly what I
offer.
was going to say. When your children grow up and they pass down things to their kids, you really want them to be like, yes, we're Oregonese. We go on hikes and have farmers markets. That's our culture.
Yeah.
Here in Oregon.
Here in
Sorry if
Oregon.
I offended any people from Oregon. Oregon's great. I thought my 8-year-old would get over her brother, and she did go several weeks without asking about him, but yesterday she asked about him again.
Wait, I'm sorry. You really thought your 8-year-old daughter was just gonna like forget she has a brother?
I thought she would just forget that guy that said he was her brother.
That he was going to take her to the aquarium and promise he'd be back.
Thought she would just forget about that guy. Dang. I feel bad about ever allowing them to go anywhere together and bond. Hope he really needs therapy. I wish I'd handled the whole thing differently, and now I don't know how to explain the situation to my kids. My 12-year-old hasn't asked about her brother, but she has been extremely closed off since her father's passing, and I don't know how this issue might be complicating what she's feeling. I just need outside opinions on what to do about this. And I can guarantee all of the comments are saying something along the lines of what we've been saying. But there is an edit. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
Well, the comments alerting me to how this might be a scam have opened my eyes.
Well, of course,
Oh,
those are the
no.
comments
Yeah.
that like she's going to take to heart.
These are the only comments all the comments that were like, you know what, like, open your heart. Maybe,
Yeah.
like,
And
he
then there's,
wants
like,
to
3
have a
people, like-
family. Scam.
Yeah.
And she's like, all of the 3 comments that said scam have opened my eyes to this dastardly man.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to scam you after he was like, no, I would literally never take your money. That's
Yeah.
not what I'm here for. I'm here for your jewels.
Kim Roberts says, I agree on the DNA test. For anyone who's saying, like, get a DNA test, yes, but also we have a lot of pictures of him with OP's husband. So there is a lot of proof he probably is his son, but I understand if you would want more proof.
Yeah, I mean, he has a bunch of pictures with him.
Oregon?
Oregon?
What?
Oregon?
I don't know how to say
I always
it
thought
now.
it was like
Oregon.
Oregon.
I don't think I said, did I say Oregon? I feel like I have like a little slight like Oregon. I don't know how to say it. Whatever. I didn't want to introduce this stranger to my kids, but when he showed up to deliver such shocking news, my children came in and asked what was going on. He introduced himself before I think about how to tell my children. And I agree that wasn't.
That was a step in the wrong direction.
He asked if he could show up to the funeral, and I felt like I couldn't say no to that, but then used it as an in with my children. He offered to them behind my back to take them somewhere, so then I felt like I would be the bad guy if I said no. It rubbed me the wrong way, but I brushed it off. I was in a vulnerable state, not thinking clearly, and he took advantage of that. I should have trusted my instincts from the beginning. The idea is that there could be scammers that prey on grieving families is just horrible, and I had no idea of such a thing. If you really think this is a scam, get a DNA test.
Yeah.
Literally get a DNA test. Do you think he used AI to make all of the photos?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you really want to get to the bottom of this, the first thing you have to do is get a DNA test. Then you go from there.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
if he's not, then be like, okay, you're a liar, bye.
Yeah.
Or if it is, then be like, okay, now that we have proved my theory wrong and you are not a scam artist,
yeah.
let's figure out how to go from here.
It just feels like OP wants him to be a scam artist.
Yeah, OP
so
like
bad.
wants this guy to be so evil and like he wants my children, he's coming after my kids and all this stuff. And it's like I don't think that's the reason he came to the funeral.
Name one.
What do you mean?
Name one. You
Name
you
one
made
what?
name one person who came to a funeral.
You
to
did a
take
little
child.
exasperated sigh there.
You gave an exasperated sigh. Prove it.
If you were a scammer, wouldn't you want to get someone when they were at their most emotionally vulnerable, which would probably be at the funeral?
I need you to name an example.
I don't know any funeral scammers, but I just assume
There's one.
that might be a way to, clearly it would go one of 2 ways, right? Either they're going to be like, oh my God, this is like a miracle. I can't believe, or it's going to be like, what? Who are you?
Huh? I've contacted a lawyer to figure out how to establish if there is truth to a story and what my legal obligations are to the boy. I'm also going to have a long talk with my sister to see if during their outings he had done any kind of prying that might have led to him learning information about my family that he could use somehow. I'm already in the process of getting therapy for my children and myself. You need it. So that's good. If you're right, girl, like, so sorry. Like, your instincts are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I apologize, but
Yo, this is a person who's ready to get scammed at a funeral right here.
yeah. Oh my goodness. You come to me and say you're my long lost son. I'm like, what? I've never even been pregnant. I believe you because you're at a funeral. Edit 2. People have been saying a lot of nasty things about me, and I don't think I'm going to get much more productive input out of this. I don't think people are going to agree with me anymore, so
I'm done here.
So this is going to be my last post on this topic. I considered taking the post down, but I decided to leave it up so people can be aware that scammers operate like this. You have no proof that he's a scammer. That they can be so good at what they do that even hundreds of third-party outsiders will take the scammer's side. You're crazy. Oh, I understand that you're going through a really hard time, so I'm going to cut you a little bit of slack, but OP, what are you talking about?
She has taken the pill.
I think you actually might want to start backpedaling because this is starting to sound more and more like it's legit.
I don't believe her yet.
But
I'm going to read it how she's saying it. In hindsight, I can't believe I didn't see it, and I cannot believe I ever let such a person step foot in my home or even speak to my children. Apparently, the goal was not to ask for money right away. It was to get close to me and my children and ask me for money later for a fake emergency. Other commenters elaborated on how it works. If my daughter asks about her brother again, I'll have to tell her she was tricked. I don't want to do that to her unless I'm completely sure. So I most likely will ask him about a DNA test, birth certificate, etc. However, not until I have the chance to speak to a lawyer.
Oh,
What?
I don't know.
We all heard the line where she said, until I'm completely sure, right? We all heard that, right?
Yeah.
Whitney P. Anderson says, wait, is this still something she's theorizing or is this confirmed? This is a theory.
Yes, this is a theory.
This is all a theory.
Y'all don't have kids and you guys are so young, so y'all wouldn't understand.
I understand that she wants to protect her kids, but I disagree that she is
I don't think she's going about it the right way.
I personally have started to lean more into this could be a scam. But yeah, you definitely do need to be like, oh, okay. And then just do that to get the evidence first.
Yeah, watch this be her her husband's son.
I mean, literally, that all you need to know is you just go pluck, and if they freak out because you're like, oh, I'm gonna send this to the lab.
All you need to do is steal his hair.
But no, I mean, if he gets all cagey because you go I want to get you tested.
Personally, if I were in this situation and I wanted to make sure that my kids were safe, I would say, can we get a DNA test? I totally understand that you're going through a hard time too. Just want to be safe. Perfect. There we go. If he says, no way, then we don't trust him. Update. I was wrong. Well. We're all shocked that you were wrong.
I am a little bit, actually.
I am not at all.
I'm
This woman
also
was
not
on
at
a
all.
freaking,
Yeah.
She got me. She got me on her side.
She was looking, searching, really trying to find the answer. It's kind of like MAGA people. You give him, you give them all of the facts and they're like, no, nah, I don't believe that.
This was a witch hunt. She had already said that he was guilty before any proof.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked at all.
The funeral scam is not as good as I was thinking it is.
What the heck is a funeral scam, guys?
Well, because imagine you're crushed and then someone shows up and they're like, yeah, I'm your
husband's son. I'm your father.
I'm half your husband.
Here are all the pictures. They're definitely not AI.
And it's like, oh my God, this was a sign from the Lord above. I'm gonna give you $85,000. That's everything I have.
My husband's son, I wasn't trying to demean him by calling him the boy. I was avoiding using names, was telling the truth. Okay, OP, let's not lie.
Yeah.
Let's not lie. We
Now
weren't
you're
trying to
backpedaling.
demean him. Call him a scam artist. You said that he was trying to steal your kids. You were trying to demean him a little bit.
Yeah.
My husband's name wasn't on his birth certificate, but the DNA test did show he was related to my kids. He also had more photos, cards, and voicemails. Tons of evidence.
Wow.
Wow, and we didn't ask for any of this before we
Just
said that he was a witch?
But wasn't this all just at the funeral?
No, this was
No.
over the course of a couple weeks.
Okay.
Because so basically he came to the house, showed up, and she was like, and then asked if he could come to to the funeral, shows up, and then like asks to hang out with the kids. And she says yes, as long as they're supervised. So this was like over the course of like maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Tons of evidence prove that my husband did keep regular contact with him. Apparently, the son's grandparents were his legal guardians. My husband occasionally gave them cash as under-the-table child support. I did notice that husband sometimes made large withdrawals when he went overseas. He said it was because shops there don't take his card. Dang. I'm so sorry, OP. I wanted to believe it was a scam because I thought it made more sense than husband having lied. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. You were grieving and you wanted to point fingers and you just didn't want your husband to have betrayed you in this way. And so you made up a lie.
You didn't want to accept that he had like a whole nother life without you, which understandable. That is like heartbreaking, especially when you can't even ask him anything about it.
Yeah.
Like you are getting no closure at all, except for this stranger who like, you know, you have no idea even existed until like days after this happened to your husband.
In a very roundabout way, this reminds me of the show Adolescence, which is a phenomenal, and I've talked about it before, but it's like this desire to not believe that a person that you loved has committed some terrible act of betrayal. And so you just kind of, for so long, in your head, you're like, no, it couldn't be true. It couldn't be true. And then you have this proof and you're like, huh. So I understand that you just experienced like this very hard realization. Talking to my husband's son a bit more revealed he'd been lying to him too. Apparently he told him he was a cowboy and a pro football player. He's like, he said he was an astronaut and that he was the president of the United States.
Okay, fun though.
He was the president of the United States. Astronaut, president, doctor, surgeon, therapist, football player, and king in space.
Then when son Googled him, he switched to saying he was a gangster who had done prison time.
Wait, what is this? SpongeBob? A football player?
A football playing king in space.
Yes, a football playing king in space. I think this is really funny because I'm just imagining OP talking to this poor child, poor 18-year-old, and being like, yeah, I can't believe that my husband lied, 18 years about having this whole other life. And he like puts his hand on hers and he's like, I totally get where you're coming from. He told me he was a gangster that had done prison time and he was a ex-pro footballer and he had gone to the moon. We both share interest.
We're both grieving.
We're both grieving that loss of who he was.
He said, you'll never see me again. I have to go on an interstellar mission to save the sun. Also, my name is Ryan Gosling.
I'm imagining this just happened, and he's like, he goes in to see Project Hail Mary, and he's like, that's my dad.
Yes, stop you.
No, come on. Needless to say, none of that is remotely true. I can't fathom what could possess him to behave this way, lying to me, lying to his kid, not raising his kid. I'm questioning everything husband ever told me and wondering if it was me who passed away, would he have abandoned our kids as well? I feel horrible for that boy.
Yeah, she's flipping the script, and I like that, OP. Give yourself some time, and like, it doesn't all have to be figured out right now, but just, first step is accepting.
And I'm glad that you're in therapy.
Yep.
I'm in therapy and working on ways to cope and forgive husband for my own peace of mind. She's helped me work out why I reacted to husband's son the way I did. I thought he was manipulating me and my kids, but what I actually sensed was that he wanted something from me and my kids. I felt like me and my daughters were not in a place to give anything emotionally or financially, so I recoiled from him, but that doesn't mean he's a threat. My kids went to therapy as well. 12-year-old has weekly sessions. However, my 8-year-old hated it, so I pulled her out for now. By the way, you shouldn't hate listening to full episodes of stories just like this. You should go listen to more on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Well, I would just like to go on the record and say that we told you so.
Yeah. And I also knew why you did it. I called that too. So
this is also seeing it also from your standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, see, if I were you the first time we went through this story, I would have been like, OP, so stupid. Meh, 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 meh. But see, I am not you. And so I give you grace and I give you acceptance and I accept that this was the way that this story was supposed to play out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have learned a lot from this, and I hope that you take this going into the future because you never know. There might be more secrets. You don't know what your husband has not told you.
We don't know what his actual job was.
His name is not Ryan.
All we learned is that he passed away from a work accident.
Yeah.
He totally could have gone on a space mission.
He was a moon pirate.
Gibby Neutron. Gibby.
Hey, really quick. Show us the secrets on your board.
Yeah, what did you learn?
Show us what you did.
I actually write stuff down now, guys.
Show us.
I did. Husband in work accident. Someone claiming to be husband's son. Live in the UK. Has pics of him and dad.
I thought there would be
Secrets.
I thought there would be something fun on there.
No, I write real notes now.
Okay.
And I've got some real story.
Yeah, she does. Bring her home.
Many people have shared their own stories of being separated from bio-relations and the effect it had on them. I don't understand it because genes don't mean much to me. What? I don't understand you, OP.
I think that's OP again trying to be like, when they were talking about the culture stuff where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't relate to the culture of my skin, I relate to the culture of my environment.
I just want to know OP's relationship with her parents because I can't imagine it's good if...
But this also doesn't make sense because she's like, oh, blah, blah, like, I don't trust you. So what? So you don't trust your children even though they came out of you? Like, I don't know. What do you mean? Like, it's just genes.
I personally don't feel like I'm in any place to have any kind of relationship with husband's son, and I don't think he wants one with me. He now appears scared of me, which I do feel bad about. I wasn't trying to hurt him or scare him, but I will allow him to visit sometimes if my girls want to see him. Sis agreed to continue to supervise. As far as money goes, the lawyer advised me that there aren't many assets that son is entitled to because they were in both my and my husband's name, except for a few investment accounts that were only in my husband's name, thankfully not where the majority of our savings are. I know people think I'm an evil witch for caring about money, but I need it to feed, clothe, and educate my own children. Common One says, look, I get that he isn't your kid, but do you really think it's fair not to give him anything from the inheritance? That's still his father's insurance and money. How can you claim that you suddenly feel bad for him and his situation, but then pull a complete 180 when it comes to money that is rightfully his just as it is yours? Bewilders me. You're not a good person, OP. Jesus. I think OP is trying to take care of her children. We don't know if she has a job, to my knowledge, and she has 2 kids to look after. So I don't think that's a fair judgment. But I also think that, he probably does deserve some of this money.
Little Mr. Commenter, only one person took the Lord's name in vain there.
OP says he is getting his share of assets that aren't in my name, which he is legally entitled to. I'm already not going to be able to give my own kids the kind of lifestyle they were used to, and stressed about the kinds of sacrifices I'm going to have to ask my own children to make until I've gotten the education and income I need to be the sole provider for them. I'm not taking anything more from them than I have to. And more from OP in the comments. OP says, thank you. I did apologize to him for my reaction. In hindsight, I can see my reaction was wrong. I don't have anything against my husband's son. I feel horrible for him. At the same time, I don't have anything in me to build a relationship with a new family member right now. But I will try to be supportive if that's my kid's wish. We did have a long talk on Zoom eventually after the DNA test confirmed his story. I apologized and explained where I was coming from, and I think he understands, though that doesn't mean either of us is suddenly going to be comfortable around the other one. When he told me about the lies my husband told him, I was shocked and told him I was sincerely sorry my husband did that to him. I think he knows I was genuine. He also knows he is welcome to visit at any time, so long as he gives notice.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the story. Yeah, I think that is a good end. I don't understand all of your thoughts on things, OP. That is the end of that story, folks, and we've got another one coming right up.
I played the piano at my sister's wedding and it made everyone crash out.
Were you bad at it?
So I, 24 female, have been playing the piano since I was 5, and it is now my job.
My God, that's exactly me, except it's not my job.
I was like,
I'm more so I meant I've been playing since I was 5 and I'm 24.
More so I meant it's not exactly me, but more like there's one there's one similarity there.
Woman, 24, and played since 5.
Oh.
That's 3 similarities. You're wrong.
I also play the flute in the orchestra of my city. Piano has always been my passion, and I don't know how to express myself in other ways if not playing. It's like you go to talking like,
wait, hold on a second. They're like, oh, she's sad again.
You're making fun
Good.
of something that's actually super sad.
That's our job.
By the way, this comes from KeyMess7216, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. My family hasn't been supportive of this passion of mine. Mind that I paid for my lessons starting from 16 years old because my parents didn't want me to attend piano lessons anymore. I then found a job that helped me pursue my dream, and I eventually became a professional pianist.
Flautist.
And flautist. on the side. Weird that it's not flutist.
I know, it should be.
My sister, on the other hand, 28 female, studies law, and she receives more attention than I do for obvious reasons. When I lived with my parents, they would blame the fact that sister didn't graduate law school yet because of me, simply because I was distracting her with constantly playing my instruments. As soon as they told me this, I stopped playing in my own house and found somewhere else to stay for several hours, and I would play there. Shortly after, I moved out. Now, her marriage was a week ago, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money. I'm struggling with my rent and expenses, so I couldn't get her anything for her marriage, which made me feel super uncomfortable. I told my parents, and they said this: "Next time you'll think twice about your career."
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're in a career in the arts, and your parents are the people who only think law, doctor, or like, I don't know, what's the other big one that the parents love?
Engineer?
Sure, engineer. Those
Law,
are the only
doctor,
3 degrees.
engineer.
Then yeah, they're not gonna like a pianist.
I decided to rehearse a very beautiful piece of, is it Chopin?
Chopin.
Chopin.
That was a tough one for you.
Not Chopin, even though it's spelled just like Chopin. But of
Yeah.
course it has to be pronounced some ridiculous, stupid freaking way.
Yeah, it's almost like there's more like languages on Earth than just English.
Unfortunately, there's different languages.
Everything should just be easy for me to say. And none of it is.
We'll work on that.
I decided to rehearse a very beautiful piece by Chopin that I knew my sister loved because she always used to fall asleep when I played it. Nocturne number 6 in G minor.
Pretty one.
Yeah, A minor, all right.
I'll play it. I think it was G minor.
The quote is A minor. You wouldn't know, SpongeBob. Plus, she would always talk to me about her crush, now husband, while I was playing that very piece. I thought it was meaningful, and she would have loved it as a gift. During her wedding, I told her I had a surprise for her, something that meant so much for the both of us, and I started playing. The reaction of everybody made me think it was amazing, and I went and hugged her. Little did I know that she hated it.
What?
The next day, I received a message from her saying that she wants to cut me off.
What?
That not only I didn't buy her the necklace she has been hinting on, but that I dared playing at her wedding without first consulting her.
What?
I don't know. If someone was like, "Oh, I have a surprise for you," and picked up an instrument, I'm immediately going to fall in love.
You pay people to play instruments at your wedding, and your sister just did a beautiful piece for your wedding for free. Huh? You're gonna cut her off? Your family is whack.
In that moment, I felt like crap because I didn't think that it would have been disrespectful. My parents told me that if I don't stop my career as a musician, they don't want anything to do with me because my personality revolves around my talent. Okay,
Crazy.
why is that such a bad thing?
That's crazy.
Why is that such a bad thing? That I am excited to share my talents with you guys. Like, from, you're the one who got me into piano.
Yeah.
There's no way a 5-year-old was like, "Oh, I mean, maybe sometimes they'd be like, I want to play piano." But like the fact that like,
You still need the parents to like say, okay, yes, let's put you in classes and stuff.
yeah, it's not like a 5-year-old is going to just come through the door with a piano one day and be like, "I want to play this."
It's so funny because parents like this love to put their children in the arts when they're growing up and make them do all of these artistic things and get good at it. And then when a child shows an interest, they're like, whoa,
They're like,
that is not engineering, doctor.
"That's not a career. That's a hobby. That's just like, that's a hobby that you can do on the side of making money." And it's like, no, actually, people can make careers out of this.
And people have.
Chopping.
Who was Polish
Yes, one of my people.
and he in France.
This broke my heart, but I can't stop thinking I might be the a-hole.
That was complete overreaction.
There are some comments. This comment says, "Not the a-hole. Your family is horrible. They should be proud that you are a working musician. You should have given your sister a heads up that you were going to play. Weddings are usually scheduled down to the minute." OP responds, "The only reason why I didn't is because she told my family and I there is going to be a dance room, a pianist, and a singer. I thought it wasn't a big deal to just play a piece 4 minutes after a few they played. In fact, the singer at the wedding told me that they were going to go take a 10-minute break anyway."
Yeah, I mean, like, truly no issue here.
Yeah.
In my mind. And certainly not a big enough issue. Like, if she was annoyed and said, hey, like, you kind of took attention away from what is supposed to be about me and my,
Yeah.
like, if that was the issue, it should not have been, never talk to me again, I'm cutting
Yeah.
you off. Like, that's crazy.
Because you played a song for me at my wedding, I'm going to be pissed at you.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's not even like a song that,
Had no meaning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she thought that this was like, you know, this big thing and it was going to be such a heartfelt moment, and no.
Yeah.
This comment says, info, was it a piano or a keyboard? This is a side issue, but someone brought up using another musician's instrument. Well,
Pianos are different though.
yeah, pianos are kind of like universal. It's not like it's just your fingers. It's not like you're picking up a mouthpiece and like
No.
blowing your crap into their crap.
Yeah. Pianos are like universally the type of instrument that if you
They literally have them
see
at
it, a mall.
yeah, they have them at malls. They have them at airports now.
Yeah.
And they're like, please play. Like,
Yeah.
they want you to play.
They
So,
are
like,
universally the instrument that like everyone, if you know how to even if you don't know how to play piano, people will go and sit down and play.
yeah, it's not like it's like a harmonica where it's like, oh, I just like put every single ounce of myself into this.
Yeah.
And here you go. Like, that would be gross.
I always give all of myself to my harmonica.
Oh, gross.
But I also feel like I could understand maybe like going and playing like a drum set.
Yeah.
Because that's like very particular and like break that. Not that you can't break a piano, but
It's much harder.
yeah, it's much harder. So I don't know. I mean, all in all, I don't think you should touch other musicians like things. But if you said, oh, I'm planning this thing, and the guy literally said, oh, I'm going to take a 10-minute break,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Think you're fine.
It is definitely rude to use someone's guitar without permission. And the idea of using someone else's woodwind is legitimately gross because you're sharing spit. But an actual piano is different. If it's a keyboard that the musician brought themselves, then it falls under the guitar category and ought only to be used with permission. But if it's a piano which belongs to the facility, it's different. I agree.
Agreed.
Were you playing another musician's instrument and using their equipment without permission? That would be an a-hole move, if a minor one, and not one entirely relevant to the wedding or to your family, but it's tangential?
Tangential.
But I'm still curious.
Not fully related.
I was going to say, this literally has like no, like this does not matter, this comment at all.
No.
Like, because that's not the issue. It's not that she was playing someone else's instrument. It was the fact that she played this song and like ruined the wedding somehow.
Commenters like, actually, I would have preferred if you were playing the oboe, and maybe your sister feels the same way.
The piano is so gauche.
OP responds, the piano, not keyboard, was owned by the venue. Kids would play with it even before the piano started. I did not ask for permission because the venue is owned by my uncle and aunt, so I feel comfortable playing it without asking them first.
That was wrong. Who says uncle and aunt?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's why you're the a-hole.
Say aunt and uncle next time, please.
The pianist went on a 10-15 minute break, and I asked him if I could play while he was gone, and he said, of course. He also stayed to listen. Another commenter said, you the a-hole.
Oh.
What you did wasn't a gift. It was a blatant attention grab.
I disagree, but okay.
Says the commenter.
Yeah. How can I make this about me?
I can't even speak to this guy's perspective because it's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, yeah, everyone should be quiet all the time and have no light, and no one deserves to have eyes on them.
Sharing music is one of like the greatest joys, in my opinion, in life. The fact that this was not well received is sad.
OP responds to thank you for the input, but I have to disagree. My sister has always been the favorite. I was and still am the black sheep of the family, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. My intention wasn't grabbing the attention. In my mind, it was a gift, and I wrongly thought she would appreciate it. I am overall a good sister, and I only stated what happened at the wedding, not my entire life with her. Another comment says, info, what did other people say about your performance? OP responds, people loved it. They recorded it too. I mean, they recorded the bride and groom's reaction, and I could clearly see the groom was moved while he was holding her hand and kissing it, dancing slowly. My sister didn't seem annoyed either. The groom posted the video on Facebook. She did not.
I wonder if in like the in between your parents said something to her. I don't know if there would have been time between that interaction with you and her, but I don't know if she didn't seem annoyed. I wonder why she reacted like that.
Well, she's also annoyed that she didn't get her the specific necklace that she asked for. So she's annoyed by her not spending money on something and instead giving a heartfelt gift. Didn't cost anything and was like, whatever, you do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's how she's viewing it, but like whatever. Another comment says, Everyone sucks here. Her for expecting you to buy her an expensive gift when she knows you're struggling. Why a necklace? This does not go into the wedding gifts category in my opinion. You for the surprise. She's never supported you or your career. What made you think she would love that gift?
I hate all these people.
Opie responds, she actually didn't care as much as my parents, so she wasn't against it. She wanted a necklace because she expected her side of the family to gift things to her and her husband's side of the family to gift things to him. She decided the whole gift thing, so I'm not really sure what the others got her. Another comment says, ugh, you are not required to buy your sister a gift, and she should not expect something that she picked out. What a brat. OP responds, when she showed me the picture of the necklace and the price, around 400 euros.
Dang.
A month ago, I reminded her that I couldn't afford it, and she told me to go play another kind of flute. In my language, it was a joke, meaning I should go give mouth jobs.
Your sister sucks. She told you to go be like a spicy worker because you couldn't afford to get her a necklace?
Yikes.
Jeez. That sister sucks a lot.
The fact that's go play another kind of flute.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that.
Hey, go play another kind of flute.
Hey, your flute's calling. Go play it.
Ding-a-ling-ding.
That's not a
Yeah.
ding-a-ling-ding.
Ding-a-ling-ding.
When I confronted her about it, she said she was only joking, so I moved on. Oh, mini update.
Oh.
I want to clarify that when I played, it was pretty much the end of the wedding. Some people were heading home too. My sister's plan was to have the music in the background towards the end so that people could relax and drink. There was nothing going on. I was also aware of the wedding plan, so I knew that it was possible for me to play without interrupting anything. I also played when people were heading home, so I did not do it to make it about me. I have been playing for years and I do not need 4 minutes of attention by strangers. I value other things. In that moment, I was valuing my sister's emotions, but it got all wrong. And there's a second edit. For people saying I only assumed my sister loved the piece, I actually did not. She would constantly ask me to play it for years, even once at her birthday party where she would dance with her now husband. I am sorry I didn't clarify this in the original post, but I think it'll help understand why I chose that piece. And there's another update. Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I think at this point, if your family is this shallow and I don't know, unsupportive, then maybe we distance. It's what they want. It's what they said.
It's just they're never going to accept this as a real job until, I don't know, you get a big deal out of it or something.
And
I don't
then
know.
they'll come crawling back.
Yeah.
If you ever get to a point where you're making a lot of money, they're going to start asking you for things. In the meantime, they suck.
I just don't think these people obviously do not respect you and don't give you the time of day to even ask how anything's going or whatever. It's just yeah, she's doing her own thing, whatever, blah, blah. And I hate that, that they're like this, but, find people who are going to give you the attention and support and, all of this because you're not getting it from them. They just seem like they're putting you down. Why stay in this position,
Agreed.
But there's an update. I wanted to thank everybody. I was really confused and didn't know what I did wrong. I want to clarify that in my family, everyone is either a lawyer, a doctor/vet, or an engineer.
And what did I say?
I said the engineer.
Yeah.
Wait, so we really
I knew it.
lawyer, doctor, engineer. Boom.
Vet.
Vet.
Parentheses, vet.
I am also not that annoying relative that plays all the time. I rarely play at family events / when my family is around. My sister's birthday parties, she asked, and her marriage. Also, my sister has been supportive of my career. She has never hated it. She loved when I played for her, and I did not want to prove anything with playing something there. It was a genuine gift I had for her. I received different opinions from you, and I decided to call my parents. I called them asking if we could talk together with sister and brother-in-law, and they said no, since it would be awkward.
No, I don't want to fix anything. It'll be awkward. No, we can't talk about issues. It'll be awkward.
Oh, we should just brush this under the rug too, right?
I think we should just cut contact because it'll be awkward.
I then tried to call my sister, but I think she blocked me, so I had to call my brother-in-law who didn't know anything. Your sister blocked you for that? That's crazy. Okay, these people suck, OP.
Yeah.
Why are you trying so hard? I tried to explain to him what happened, and he said he was shook, that if he knew, he would have talked to my sister. I didn't tell him about the necklace or anything too specific because I don't want to create trouble. I just wanted to tell her I was sorry I didn't discuss it with her first. Brother-in-law invited me home, and when I got there, I started crying like a baby. My sister looked emotionless. She was looking at me like I was some sort of monster. I told her I was sorry and I should have discussed it with her first. She then asked brother-in-law to leave the room, and she told me that what bothered her was the fact that she was was embarrassed by the fact that her best friends got her cool stuff and her sister got her something she cannot even touch.
Oh, you are so materialistic.
Wow.
You are so materialistic.
Apparently, that embarrassed her a lot. This is crazy.
I'll give you something you can touch.
My fist.
5 fingers.
5 fingers to the face.
What do the 5 fingers say to the face?
Ow.
Slap!
Slap. They're awful. All these people. OP, I think what you did was a great gesture. It has been like a thing, you know, from your childhood and something that like maybe, yeah, you do it professionally. Like, would they like you to, like, could you imagine if what your sister's lawyer, like you gave her a new briefcase or something? Like, is that better than having like something come from the heart? Like, I don't know. I choose heartfelt gifts over literally anything else.
Agreed.
If you know me and you know I'm gonna like this, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so freaking grateful. Not like, you know, like if it's a song, oh my God, write me a song. Are you kidding me? I would fall in love with you. Like, I don't need material things. I actually, like, I have too many material things.
I need less material things.
I need less material, more heartfelt things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy who picks apples.
And that is true.
She's
I need
looking
a
for an apple
farmer.
picker.
She said she doesn't want to cut me off because she is aware of my financial situation, but warned me that she will not help me with my parents. I love my sister, so I am happy she won't cut me off completely.
Oh, P.
I wanted to visit my parents too, but they said it was better to talk on the phone first. They wanted to know what my decision was and told them I would never throw almost 20 years of hard work just because they want me to go to uni and study law like my sister. Their dream has always been having 2 lawyers in the family.
Yeah,
well, guess
shut
what?
up.
That's just not it. You cannot force people to have a passion that is not theirs. Just like you can't force anyone to have an opinion that's not theirs.
If you want 2 lawyers in the family, go be 2 lawyers.
Go,
Husband, wife, you can both be lawyers.
Because that didn't happen, you're now going to scorn this woman for the rest of her life. That is not good parenting. Sorry to call you out there, but that's not good parenting at all. Like, none whatsoever. They said that I needed to give them the piano back then. I don't like this. By the way, I want you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime, and you'll find literally all of our crap there. All of it. Big load of duty right there.
Anyway, we've got a little bit of this story left.
The piano I have is a grand piano that my parents bought when they got married for decoration.
Oh, getting a piano for decoration infuriates me, actually, because pianos are like $10,000.
Oh my God, even more.
Well, that's just for a cheap piano.
Yeah, that's
To
just
be-
for like
a cheap grand piano that's like $10,000, and to get one just for decoration, and you don't even want your child who learned and is a professional pianist to play it. Insane.
Bruh, you just don't understand aesthetics, girly.
I guess not.
They have never touched it, and the only person in the house that used it was me. When I moved out, I asked if I could take it with me, and they agreed. They never specified it was a gift or I needed to give it back to them eventually. At first, I got super emotional and asked them to please think about it because I cannot afford a piano at the moment. Plus, it is the piano I studied on. I love that piano, but they told me to drop it and toughen up. If I don't give it back, they will sue me.
Wow.
I hate these people. I hate them. Sorry, I'm going to go over here because I'm yelling. I hate these people. I hate them.
OP, they can sue you, but it was a gift.
They're actually freaking horrible.
Yeah.
Why are they trying to suck every ounce of passion out of you just because you didn't want to be a lawyer and argue and,
Dude,
you know,
they
be a
can't.
snake?
Because they're talentless hacks.
Let them sue you, dude. Let them sue you. It was a gift. You can say, they gave it to me. I asked at the time if they wanted me to pay them. They said no. I hope you have any proof of that.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
A grand piano, you're going to have to hire people to move that.
Yeah, it's going to be
Because it's
money.
not like you
expensive.
can just pick that up or ask like 5 people to come over and we're going to move this piano. You need like a professional to like move pianos.
OP, they can't sue you. You're good.
I would send them a picture of the piano. Like in the mail, I would just send
Yeah.
them a photograph of the piano.
It's in the mail.
If you want to see it live,
That's
send
it.
me money.
There's a blindfold around
Yeah.
it. And its legs are zip tied. And the keys are duct taped. If you ever want to see this piano again.
Send me money at this Dropbox.
I don't know if they are allowed legally, but I am scared. I'm probably going to give it back to them and cut them off.
No.
My father said you are struggling financially and still you are not listening to us. Insane.
Don't give it back to them and cut them off.
Well, they say get. It's like, oh, I'm struggling financially. Why don't you buy it?
Yeah.
Why don't you buy it for premium price then?
This
This is mine.
So I basically told them I want to be alone for a while and I want no contact with them until further notice. Thank you, everyone, again.
Yeah, I hope everyone in the comments said don't give it back to them.
I really hope you didn't, OP. And I hope that you get like a big deal and then you're like the conductor of some big thing.
Me too. I also hope that.
Because these people stink. And the fact that they can't
Stinky.
no, because it's not there, you know, and that's the thing. They're not lawyers either. So like the fact that it's like you have to be a lawyer. You be a lawyer.
Call me when you're a lawyer. And sister's not even a lawyer either. Like she hasn't finished law school
Yeah, she hasn't
yet.
even finished it. So like, but she's the golden child because she's trying.
Yeah.
Okay, and now she's in
Wait until she drops
thousands
out.
of debt.
Yeah, wait until she drops out.
I don't know. These people suck. I hate them. OP, love you. Wish that you had a little bit more confidence, but I understand where that went. But that is the end of that story.
We actually just have comments.
Oh.
But we've got some comments from the video His Fiancé is Cheating at the Wedding. And this was posted June 7th, 2025. And we have a TLDR from Story 1. OP's ex-boyfriend, Ben, is engaged to Hannah. And OP is even a bridesmaid at their wedding. Dang. But during a wedding planning sleepover, OP overhears something that makes her think Hannah is cheating on Ben with her own maid of honor. Nobody believes OP has enough proof, and coming forward could make her look like a jealous ex. Does she say something and risk blowing up the wedding, or stay quiet and let her ex walk into a marriage built on lies? If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video, and we've got comments from that story. Comment 1 from Chasm Me says, "No way would I have my fiance's ex of 7 years in my wedding." That's just, I think, a side note. Creepy Tales from Beneath says, "For the first story, I see no problem with remaining friends with exes or having them part of your wedding. Friendships don't always end just because the romantic side of things do. It's possible. I know a few exes I'd love to have at my wedding." Cindy's Sun Lit Up says, "My maid of honor was one of my exes and my best friend of 13 years. I regret having her as my maid of honor, but that's because she was a crap friend and has nothing to do with her being an ex." Cyber 5KU11 says, "The dramatic part of me wishes OP didn't tell Hannah the tell him or I will, and waited until the 'if anyone would object to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace' part of the wedding, and pull out the recording of Hannah admitting to everything. Would probably have a worse off ending for OP's relationship with the people involved and family, but maybe would have been awesome if she'd done so." I agree, that would have been pretty entertaining. But yeah, probably not helped her relationships with her friends. But that is the end of those comments and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
See you tomorrow.
Hey now, hey, wait a minute. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. We have bonus stories that we think you're going to really like, so stay tuned for the next one.
My husband proposed an open marriage to cover up his affairs.
Genius, this guy.
I thought I had a really good relationship with my husband. Over 5 years married. But that's going to be your last year coming up.
Hold on your beanie.
Huh?
Hold on your beanie. Yeah, read like
that.
that.
Wait, that looks right.
About a year ago, I found out that was not the case.
The mouth of Sam.
To kind of get to the point, after feeling my husband was distracted and more distant than normal, ADHD, I caved to my timidity and looked through his phone. We almost had an open phone policy as both our last relationships were cheaters. Makes sense. Well, I found out he was talking spicy sleepily to other people, and sadly, it has been a majority of our relationship. By the way, this comes this comes from Never Good Enough 96. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, for some context, when we first started dating, I told him that I was attracted to females as well as men, but wasn't looking or interested in a female to be in a relationship with. I know I want a relationship with a man. About 4 years into our marriage, he brings up an open marriage. I thought I was clear in stating I didn't want one and we had moved on, but this conversation was in the back of my head when I went through looking on his phone. I found an app where he had these conversations, I guess, about having like another person in their relationship.
I just don't understand why anybody would feel the need to float the open relationship in a marriage.
Well, especially when it's been already discussed that that's not what someone wants.
And the answer was no.
The answer was no. As in, this is what happened in our last relationship. But this time, I had 2 kids, so it's even worse. What also hurt was him doing it during both pregnancies, talking spicy sleepily to other people. And now here is where we fight a lot. He thinks talking to others isn't cheating. You have to have spicy sleep to cheat, apparently. I don't see it that way. He doesn't believe emotional cheating is a thing, and I do. I felt it is super disrespectful how he talks to people like this, but I would never. I also feel if I was to do this and he found out, he'd be pissed. More on this later. I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. I used to work while his mom washed her kids until I started college. Then we moved further away from her to be closer to his work. We agreed I'd stay home with the kids, still under school age, or as we didn't and couldn't afford to have childcare, and I was going to school anyways. So I found these messages about a year ago, get into this huge fight. I wanted to divorce over it. We argue for days, and things are said to me that in hindsight feel manipulative. Either way, I made a stupid choice, but thought it'd save my marriage and the people pleaser in me would be happy. I was wrong. I was so worn down at this point. I tell him if he is going to talk to her anyways, then I better be included too.
I mean, I don't think you should go if you're going to talk to her anyways. I think you should just leave.
OP, put some boundaries.
Have some have
some respect.
Self-respect.
Like, I know it's hard, but have some respect.
It's really hard outside of a relationship that's bad with toxicity and
but also there's the reality distortion field, like OP,
yeah, exactly.
OP has been in this relationship for ages, probably been manipulated for ages and hasn't built up the courage to actually say what she needs.
Some people are also excellent gaslighters, man.
Yes, exactly.
Truly.
And sometimes it takes someone writing a whole thing to Reddit to actually see that they are being gaslitten.
Yeah. I'm glad that you can see the light, though, here.
He is happy he gets what he wants. I try to make it work, inviting her over, trying to get to know her interests and get close to her as she is with my husband, but I get the feeling she also didn't want to be in an open relationship. She wanted my husband to herself. During this time, we were physical with her, but all interactions were promised to be in a monogamy.
I doubt that that's going to hold up.
It is not
going to
hold up.
I don't think that that's...
It is not going to hold up.
Oh, sorry. That's so embarrassing.
Honestly, I think she should stop putting a blindfold on and see clearly.
Oh, are we done?
For this moment. Oh, man.
I saw the gums of your gums, bro.
A man is born
see
today.
Clearly. This is crazy.
A man is being birthed today.
Crazy style.
Oh.
I bring up a few times to my husband, I feel she wants more with him, and I kept getting brushed aside. Finally, she comes out and says she wants alone time with my husband, both spicy sleep and non-spicy sleep. I say, absolutely not. At this point, we're trying to make anything work, so he says I can start talking to other people like he's been doing. I met 2 people during this time. One I stopped talking to as he was also cheating on a partner, and that's a no from me. The other I got along with really good. He was a great friend at the time, but I felt wrong as I started to feel it was becoming more than just talking. The whole time, my husband said I was fine as I told him everything, but it didn't feel right to me, so I broke it off. At some point, this all was getting too much for me, and I recenter myself in this chaos and decide I need to set some boundaries. Good for you, OP.
Yeah.
Finally, seeing the light, seeing clearly, taking off the wool that was put over your eyes and putting on some fresh glasses to finally see what's right in front of your face, which a bad marriage.
OP really
That's
said,
that's in front of your face.
I see clearly.
Now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles
what was it
in
from
my
Fairly Odd Parents?
way.
It's like, I can see. I can fight. Okay, go back to the story.
All right, anyway.
It's so hard to keep on task.
I'm going to recenter myself in this chaos and decide I need to set boundaries. John, you've been dancing a lot.
I'm going to give you a live demonstration, and you're going to see it too.
Show me those hips. Oh, damn. That is a good move. But you know what is also an amazing move?
What is that, Sam?
Becoming an OK Storytime member.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Well, let's get back to the story.
So I sit him down with her, and we have a conversation that goes to the effect of me telling my husband and I had agreed that all the spicy sleep counters would be together. She didn't want that. She also expects that I'd be willing to give, but never receive spicy sleep advances. She wants alone time, both during spicy sleep and not with my husband. I say no. It seems like she wants my husband alone and not as a couple. My husband and I get into another fight as I tell him to cut her off and that I'm done with this situation. I don't want an open relationship, and if he does, then we will be getting a divorce. So now we're back to having a monogamous relationship. Everything's fine and peachy.
Yeah, sure. If we just ignore everything,
fine.
everything's perfect. If we ignore all the things that are
A
wrong.
monogamous relationship is like that girl, and my husband's choices never existed.
Yeah, right. I wiped the past from my brain.
Yep.
Eternal Sunshine style. Because we all know that works. Right? That's the moral of the story of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I haven't
Is
seen
when
that.
you erase your memories, it's fine.
Is it good?
Spoiler, yeah, it's a great movie.
Mm.
It's really sad.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
It's a great movie.
Anyway, so now we're back to having a monogamous relationship. I find out during the end of it all that I am pregnant.
champagne?
I was devastated.
Whoa.
I didn't want to bring a baby into this, specifically knowing that they were created during a spicy throuple. So
from Brady
basically,
Warriors.
this baby was conceived during a spicy trio.
are you sure? Is that the moment? Can you really trace it back to that? Is that
Maybe
the only time that you've done it?
I think so.
All right.
Yep. Knowing that I
Thank
got
you.
pregnant just because he shot his spicy cream.
Stop. Just
Seed.
He planted his seed
There we go.
that grew into
His
a
QP.
beautiful
Is
baby.
It's a creamy
His
seed.
he shot
Ugh.
instead of her. That time kills me. So we closed our relationship, and I thought we'd get past the hardship and have our happy marriage now. Not so much.
Yeah, you think?
My husband then lost his job halfway through the year. Luckily, he had a backup second job that he could jump into. We tried to get caught back up, but a month later, our family gets into a car wreck. I'm 34 weeks pregnant. Oh no, the oncoming car hit a passenger headlight, which is where I was, totaled out the vehicle that we had, which was for 3 hours max. Other driver's fault. We're all physically okay for the most part, and no harm to the baby.
Oh, God.
Good. We got that situation mostly sorted. Got a new vehicle that is also a piece of crack, but bad luck still running strong. At this point, I'm just fed up. I take care of kids all day, every day, with no break, like a robot, even to the store. He's been working off and on, but it feels that that's all he should be doing. No help around the house or kids. I do have to say, he'll take out the trash or swap the laundry. That's like the minimum. He'll also ask if I am in the middle of doing stuff, if there's anything he can do to help. But it's like, what's the point? Why ask? Also, why do I have to tell him what needs to get done? He should know. This has been another point for me. I do stuff for him that he would never do for me. I feel I put more into this relationship than him. I feel I could get past all this chore crap if I was treated better, but it feels like I don't think all for nothing. Also, if you want to be treated better, you should listen to us
perfect.
on our podcast,
That's
OK Storytime,
right.
wherever you get your podcast. You can listen while you're doing those chores if you want, because you can listen 24/7, 365.
Literally do it while you do anything. There's
You
no
could do it.
limits to when you can listen to this.
Yeah,
Listen to OK Storytime in the delivery room of your child.
I try to keep the house clean, go to school, keep all appointments, and make bill payments. Fill out all the paperwork that ever appears. I try even to help him by running baths, get him coffee, and sometimes breakfast in the morning, depending on how he feels. I try to take care of his personal needs. If kids are overwhelming, I try to give him space. I think the most telling thing is he actually asked me why I do these things for him, as he wouldn't do it for me. I'm now at the point I've gone through all of this just to be told I'll never get the same treatment I put out. Also, one of the things he says bothers me some more. He will tell me all guys are like this and how he is, and that everyone he talks to says he's not wrong. Am I overreacting and feeling that everything I've gone through was for nothing? And we do have some comments for this story. But OP, leave. This guy is saying he's bad. He's a bad dude. Dakota, keep the thoughts inside your head.
I am. I sent it to Keon. It's okay.
What?
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I should drink my juice. I cannot repeat the words. I cannot say his name.
Yeah, guys, this is like the equivalent of like the used car salesman being like breaking character and being like, hey, so I would never buy this car. This car is like borderline unsafe. Like it doesn't run. It's going to break down as soon as you get it off the lot. And you're going to have to bring it back to pay thousands of dollars for it to just break down again. Why would you buy this car? That is what your partner just said to you. And that's when you
should
go,
believe him.
I should probably not buy that car then, huh? And then you go. And it's hard.
Comments. So OP's asked, am I overreacting and feeling that everything I've gone through was for nothing? Comments. Comment 1, you are not overreacting. To be completely honest with you, I would have walked out the moment you found the spicy sleep conversations in his phone. To me, it looks like he simply wanted to cheat on you. And OP replied, look back on all of it. I feel you are correct. In our arguments, he stated he did it for me to experience what I wanted to, but never did before marrying him. If it was for me, why did I have to ask to be included? Sadly, I haven't gotten a real apology or anything. I just need to move on and forget about it. I think of leaving him, but it's hard as I do love him. Sometimes if someone's not treating you well, it's not enough to just love them. I also have no support system and 3 kids, one of which is being a fresh, fleshy newborn. Comment 2. No, all men are not like this. He was emotionally cheating before you caved to an open marriage. He didn't do it for you. You did it to save your marriage, which is a wrong reason and never works. Get out and let her have him. You may love him, but you need to love you and your kids more. Boom. Boom. This isn't the father figure your children should have. They will learn cheating is okay. Men are garbage, but that's okay. Moms give everything and get nothing, and that's okay. You deserve better. Your kids deserve better. And that my husband quit his job, but still makes me take care of everything at home.
Go to jail.
Context. We in our very late 30s, married 11 years. He is 100% disabled with the VA, PTSD, 1 child, she just turned 6, separate finances. He worked out of town. By the way, this comes from emergency intern 4327. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So on to the juice. I never wanted children. And when we first got together, neither did he. That was until he saw me playing with all my nieces and nephews at a family gathering. I have 14 total. Back then, only 6. I am one of 9 siblings, so family functions are huge. From that point forward, he knew he wanted kids with me. I ended up pregnant. I chose to keep her and got a litigation and ablation a few months after having her. He had expressed his feelings being hurt that I would do such a thing, and we started counseling. Working out of town like he did meant there wasn't a lot of time for us. Just weekends the entire time our daughter has been alive. When he'd get home, there were always upset feelings towards me. He prefers the house to be more clean than it usually is, so I started deep cleaning a room a week. It's not like the house is trashed, it's just not home and garden ready. It's just hard to do all the things and keep a spotless house, so naturally speaking, some of the household chores took a backseat. Since our daughter was born, I've been taking her to work 40 plus hours a week. I work from a property management and realtor office and have for the last 20 years. I run most things in the office and I occasionally clean rentals for some extra cash. It has been so nice bringing her to work. She tells my bosses that she loves them and they tell her they love her too. Aw. They help me teach her things and they watch her when I have appointments, let alone the money I'm saving on daycare. I am truly thankful and grateful for my bosses. So my husband just quit his job at the beginning of this year. It has been 20 days so far, and this is ridiculous. Here are the things he has done since being home. He does make sure to wash dishes. Okay, that's good. He has made dinner 2 times. A little less good.
Well, that's 10%.
He has washed our child so I could have a child-free day at work 4 times.
It's 20%.
And he had played a lot of video games. Yes, that's right. Game as in singular, Call of Duty. He'll play all day. He'll play most of the night. He gets about 4 hours of sleep and then repeats. The only time he's not playing is his appointments. And when I ask if we can watch something together, I asked her daughter what she does with dad during the day. He watches her, and her response made my blood boil. Dad lets me watch YouTube and play with Legos all day. The man hadn't even given her lunch. My child is Dang smart, of course. She went and made her own PB&J and ate the fruit out of the fruit bowl when she was hungry. He's not doing anything he should be doing. Not helping her with math and ABCs to prepare her for school this year. Not taking her on an outing. Not even making her something to eat. He's not doing any of the cleaning that bugged him while he was working. He's not doing even the man jobs like taking the car in for an oil change while I'm at work. He's not interested in me and my hobbies or job. He's literally turning into a bum. The best I got is that he doesn't drink or do any substances. He's not abusive or anything, or rather on any level. He's just not a good dad or partner. Counseling isn't helping, and I want to just leave, but I've been here so long already.
With like therapy and counseling, it's like a huge thing is the therapist or counselor, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel for veterans, man. I think that's my thing with this story that's getting me hung up. I'm also like 3 glasses of grape juice. I'm getting a little somber
Yeah.
in my thoughts.
Tell me about these veterans.
I want to make more jokes about Harry Potter.
Harry Potter probably has
my
some
brain's having a
PTSD.
hard time going back.
If I do leave, I'm the one that has to start all over again. We live in his house he bought before we were married. I drive his vehicle he bought for me, but never put my name on. I do not have savings as I pay the utilities, all the bills for our daughter, all the groceries, and a couple of subscription services. What do I do to get him to do something, or rather anything other than COD? Edit, he is in therapy 3 times a week. 1 time of the week is couples counseling. Edit 2, okay, so dang, I was expecting 1 or 2 comments telling me to stay in my lane, or the hard Reddit divorce. A lot of people getting suggests, so there are a couple of updates. 1, I left my phone at the office and my bosses kept hearing it go off. They have read everything. I don't lock my phone.
What?
Your bosses are reading your phone?
What? Where do you work? Where that's acceptable?
I have no need. It is very common for them to use my phone and I theirs for all sorts of things. They agree with a lot of different comments and have made it point blank clear that if I need, I have a place free of charge for both my daughter and I, till they and I can get into a house of our own. I just would have never asked for help, or I guess such a deep discount anyway, as I feel like they've helped so much already. 2, I'm going to look for different therapists for my husband and a couples counselor. 3, I'm going to a cognitive behavioral therapist. This is not something any of our therapists have brought up. And 4, I am in therapy and I do like my therapist. I know she's a couple of years away from retirement, so I am going to look and ask for a referral to replace her. She's always saying I need to be more assertive in my communication and echoes some of what y'all said. 5, I deeply appreciate the veterans, just like Dakota, and spouses of veterans commenting. I actually didn't know I was completely alone in this, and I appreciate the kind messages of your personal journeys. It has given me a way better insight than I have had, and I am going to talk over a schedule with him and fill out a shared Google Calendar that will alert him to things that need to be done. I will also ask him to add things planned specifically just for us. And Reader Reacting responds and says, I love your schedule. I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but I did ask when I got home if there was a good time to talk. We have scheduled and I'm going to talk over your schedule. Well, kind of. I'm going to tweak a little and see what he can start now when/what we can go doing forward. I don't know that the outings will happen immediately or anytime relatively soon, but I do have ideas to plug into the things he might be opposed to. I am still open to suggestions, and I only described him as a bum. I think it is OP, as I'm at a loss for words. A better description is in a rut, not becoming a bum, but is in a rut. But update. So I thought I'd be able to update y'all with something nice and joyful.
Okay.
Like, in couples counseling, we talked over everything, and magically he snapped out of it. Or even perhaps I found him better treatment, and he's open to trying it.
Oh.
But this is not that post.
Oh, dang it.
Today, I and my daughter went to my mom's for a family hangout. We usually do these once a month on a Sunday that everyone isn't working, and usually we stay through dinner. Everyone was pleased to see me and my daughter, but were very confused as to why my husband wasn't joining. I had asked him, and he said he wanted to stay home. This is very normal response as of lately. I had no problems with it. I asked if he wanted to bring him a plate of dinner. He said no. Okay, no problem. I thought he was just going to play more COD. Well, I forgot my phone at home. It only became important when I needed to show it to my sister and her husband, a house I had saved for them to look at. It just hit the market yesterday and was a killer deal, and they're looking. So I couldn't remember the address, and the 3 of us took off and went back to my house to pick it up. They came. I really hope this isn't going where I think it's going. They came because they thought it would be nice to say hello to my husband, but also maybe pressure him to come hang out. There was a car I've never seen parked on the street in front of my husband's house.
No. Wait, no. No.
We walked into the house, but my husband was not in front of the TV.
No. He was in front of someone's TV.
I figured he was in the bathroom.
Mhm.
Found my phone on the counter and turned to leave. I froze. That was a moan. And those aren't my shoes. Before I could even understand what was happening, my brother-in-law had my husband by his neck. My sister was screaming obscenities at some woman while throwing clothes at her. It was a lot. Oh. I asked my husband what was going on. He had no reply other than to shrug. My brother-in-law let go. My husband pulled on some pants. My brother-in-law gave me my husband's phone from the nightstand. Never once have I gone through my husband's phone. I didn't even know the password. My brother-in-law forced my husband to give me the password. My husband has been...
How long did that say? How long did that say?
My husband has been having an affair for the better part of 4 years.
I can't even scream. I can't even scream.
I'll drink this for OP.
Well, the good news is that all my sympathy for this guy can go out of the window. This guy can get thrown into an eyeball-sized black hole, become spaghetti, and get eaten by the pigs in Tartarus that are looked after by the spirit of James Gandolfini.
I couldn't and still can't understand. I sent myself screenshots, so I have proof. I'm at my mom's now. We're going to stay with one of my siblings for a day or two. When I get back to the office, I'm finding a new place to live. By the way, if you want to find a new place to listen to these stories, you should listen to our podcast.
That's right.
On Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Or like wherever
wherever.
any place where you get
It's
your
great.
little podcasts.
You could listen while you're on the move.
You just got to search up OK Storytime, and then you'll get the sweet siren song,
sweet nectar
of our
into your
discussion
ears.
and these stories, just whispered into your ears.
There's another relevant update. And I'm just going to go right into it. I am so heartbroken. I thought I was the problem and my vet husband needed help.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X is. Well, let's get back to the story.
Clearly, he does need help, but he's going to find it without me.
Yeah, he needs help getting his freaking, can't say that one.
Yep.
Can't say that out loud.
I'm pretty sure this will be the last update. I'm so depressed right now. I can't stop crying. Just know it wasn't you. My daughter has no clue and is happily playing in the backyard with her cousins. How do I tell her what's going on now? How do I uproot her from her life and make her have a different one? Where do I go with my horses, both on land and sea? The water horses and the land horses. How do I afford housing long term and crap? Now, do I have to talk to my bosses and ask for help? Is he going to fight me over custody? How do I afford a lawyer? Do I need a lawyer? Can I just walk away? Do I have to split custody? Is he going to be a huge wiener over things? You definitely should get a lawyer. Did he actually love me? Does he love this other woman more than me? Not helpful questions. Was this what he was doing while our daughter was fighting for her life? Am I going to be okay? So many questions and not really good answers. More or less just writing this event. If anyone knows of good low-cost divorce lawyers close to Minneapolis, let me know. And that
is the end of that.
Is where that story ends. I cheated on my husband. He says he forgave me, but I think he's seeing someone else.
2 wrongs make a messed up story.
So wait, OP's the a-hole right off the bat.
Well, let's see. I, 30 female, cheated on my husband, 27 male.
So she's, OP's the a-hole off the bat.
I'm 27. He's taking it well.
I'm 27. Oh, yeah, and your wife is cheating on you right now, Sam.
No! My wives are cheating on me.
All 800 of them.
He's taking it well, but I feel he resents me. You've ended the relationship right here. Like, you guys should break up. I know I did something awful and disgusting, and when I couldn't take the guilt anymore, I cut off my affair partner and confessed everything to my husband. That doesn't make you better. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Bad Wifey89 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, he got more upset and depressed than angry, and I begged for him to not divorce me. I proposed counseling, therapy, even allowing him to have spicy sleep with other woman, but he wasn't interested. He said he wanted to try to work us out, and I jumped in to being the best wife a man can ask for.
That has cheated on him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you have to put that parenthesis there.
Yeah.
The best wife that cheated on you ever.
I cook his favorite dishes. Leave him loving notes.
After I cheated on him.
Bought new lingerie to entice him.
After I cheated on him.
His reactions are lukewarm at best
Because you cheated on him.
he smiles and thanks me. Not once has he said he loves me since I have confessed. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe because you violated his trust and you cheated on him.
He barely initiates anything, and I basically have to push myself on him, not that he complained.
Well, he probably would if he felt like it because you cheated on him.
Sometimes you talk about this, but I think I still lost the man I love.
Oh, yeah, you did. As soon as you cheated on him.
His behavior with me feels very artificial, and nothing changes his facade. I can be playful, I can be sad, I can get angry, and I can get seductive. His reaction is always the same, this stupid smile and polite words.
It's more than you deserve.
He was so emotional and sincere before all of this happened because you violated the trust of the relationship. I want him to let out his true emotions with me, even if he hates me. I still love him so much. What can I do to fix this?
I cannot wait to read these comments, dude.
We got some comments. There's nothing you can do to fix this. You most likely ruined your marriage irreparably. Good job. Leave the man alone. Solitaire OG says, you killed the joyful, sincere, emotional man. Do you understand? That man is dead gone. I've felt it myself, betrayed by the woman that I thought was my actual soulmate. Yeah, that's how fast it dies. I tried for about a year, but I could never find that man again and couldn't forgive her. He'd be a true saint if he were able to. OP says, no, I don't want to believe this. He's still in there somewhere.
Oh.
And you may have thought you heard this story before, but we got an update this time, y'all. So buckle in for these multiple updates.
I lost so many brain cells with, no, I don't want to believe this. It's like, dang, you know what? I bet he didn't want to believe that you cheated on
Set
him.
him free. He knows I cheated. We didn't separate, and I begged him not to divorce and let me fix this. He agreed, but his behavior since my confession has basically been one of indifference. Like I wrote in my last post, I do my best to be the best wife he could ask for, cook his favorite foods, get him gifts, screw his brains out every night.
You know what, dummy? You know what I didn't read in your last post? Any sort of reasoning or explanation as to why you violated the trust and you cheated on him. What happened? Where's your explanation?
He just smiles and thanks me. He acts kind and never yells at me, but I feel his icy indifference under the mask of courtesy.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X is. Well, let's get back to the story.
2 weeks ago, he started coming home late, very late. And when he does, he just goes to bed. I asked him what's going on. He told me in the kindest way possible, not your business.
He's cheating on you.
Uh-oh.
Which I don't even think he can do anymore because to me, the relationship is functionally dead.
Yeah.
And you are delusionally hanging around thinking that you can somehow solve it by, like, I don't know, playing pretend that you didn't do anything wrong.
I call him when he stays out, and he picked up only once. I heard a woman laughing in the background. I'm starting to think he is cheating back on me. It effing hurts. If he told me at least, I would be able to stomach it. I deserve this after all, but he won't tell me. He shuts me out. Common friend told me she spotted him in a car with a woman she didn't recognize, and this felt like a stab in the heart. She said she couldn't describe her exactly because she wore big sunglasses, but she recognized my husband because of his particular taste in neckties. They were talking, but my friend said that from their position, it looked like they were holding hands or one of them was touching the other's lap. I don't know what to do. If he is having an affair, I deserve, but I need to know. The uncertainty is eating away at me. Should I confront him? Should I try to find out more? I don't know how much more I can take of this. I wish he would at least communicate with me. And the comments say, just ask him. You hurt him, now he's hurting you. I don't believe your marriage is salvageable at this point if he's cheating to get back at you. And OP responds, he won't talk to me. Clear head. 01 says he's disassociating from you, probably seeing someone else, but regardless, it's over. Sounds like you've been reduced to a roommate. Yes, not even a roommate. Someone said I've been reduced to a bangmaid. Simmer74, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. That's why you're scared of him leaving. That's why you want him to give you emotion, even if it's anger and him yelling at you. Because if he hated you, there's still passion there. An emotion that shows he still loves you, he just can't process how to get back there. Unfortunately, he doesn't love you anymore. He's checked out. He doesn't get angry because there's nothing to get angry about. He won't cry because there's nothing to cry about. He already went through the process of grief and is in on the other side of it. Unfortunately, with that comes the realization that what he buried during the grieving process was your relationship, and you have realized this. And there is an update.
I think Frank the Pug asked, I'm confused why the husband didn't leave. I mean, it's an a-hole thing, but I feel like he's just like, he's so tuned out of that relationship, but he's like, this is what you get. Kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I think so. I do think maybe it's a little revenge oriented.
It's definitely revenge oriented.
Or maybe he was trying, and then it's like, you know what? What's the point?
No, I maybe in the very beginning he's like maybe, but like no. Why am I in this? Maybe it's. I think it's just revenge.
This next,
I don't like it.
I saw the next sentence, and it's making me angry.
Update 2. He left me. And he was cheating on me. I did like you guys said and begged him to talk to me. He didn't want to, but I cried and yelled so much I puked all over. He got soft with me, helped me clean up, and we talked. I asked him if he was cheating on me and said he was talking with someone but didn't do anything with her. I asked if she was the woman my friend saw him with. He thought on it, but a little, but said no. It was another woman whom he met a month ago in his office. I asked him how he could and said I gave him permission, and he didn't do anything besides unloading his problems and our situation with her. But he played it like he was having a full affair so I could feel what he felt, especially because according to him, I neglected him and made it obvious I was cheating on him. He said he was suffering and I was almost rubbing it in his face. I told him I wasn't doing it on purpose, and he said this was even worse because I didn't care at all. He said that everything I did after confessing meant nothing. It just made him think I'm selfish, self-centered, and lack any sort of self-respect. I asked him if we could work on myself in our marriage, but he said we can have counseling to sort it ourselves, but the marriage is over. He says that he wishes no ill will on me and decided to cut this charade because he could no longer bear to the woman he once loved to suffer like that. But he said, I am no longer that woman. I started sobbing again and he held me, but he kept saying no when I asked him if we could work this out.
No.
I asked him what he was going to do, and he's moving out. He already found a new place. I asked him if he was going to live with that woman, and he said no, but she was close enough. I asked him how he could pick a total stranger he met a month ago over his wife of 5 years. He said his wife of 5 years no longer exists.
See, now that's like I don't know how he could stay calm.
Mic drop says,
I see now, and this is like showing me that this, like, because the bad revenge is when it's like you get so emotionally invested in it that it starts to just eat away at you. It feels like he had made peace with the situation instantaneously and just started moving in it within the context of that revelation where it's my wife doesn't even exist anymore. That's crazy.
He said his wife of 5 years no longer exists. He has to pick between two strangers, and that woman made a much better impression on him. I told him he was a fool and he could not know this woman, and this woman will probably use and dump him. He got harsh and said she's better than me for sure.
Oh, he got harsh?
He said he won't say to our families our marriage ended because I cheated, because we grew apart, and that he will leave the house to me as long as I make the divorce smooth. But if I try to take him to the cleaners, drag it out, or cause any problem, he will tell everyone what I did and destroy me and my reputation.
See there, that's the good right there. See, that's the enlightened. This is why I'm like on this guy's side. Is because
this happened
he did
yesterday,
right.
And he already packed up almost everything. I can't stop crying, and I can't believe this is happening. This is horrible and unfair.
Oh my
dude! Like, shut
grip.
your mouth.
I love this comment right here.
Now she wants to act like the victim.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
The
I could
entitlement
tell
of this
exactly
woman.
the way that she wrote it at first, where it was like, that's what she was looking for. She's like,
and also she's writing this from her perspective. Imagine how much worse it is.
yeah.
Like,
Imagine all the stuff she's leaving out.
In the box already says, just remember you created this outcome. Maybe next time, don't cheat. 190 pairs of panties says she wants everyone else to buy sheets for the bed she made. By the way, if you want to slip into bed with us, you can look at our podcast, OK Storytime, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
You can listen to us in bed. You can.
You can.
We would technically be in bed with you in your ears.
There's another update, an update 3.
And to be
really
clear,
quick,
look, I will say this. Cheating in the context of the relationship is unsalvageable. But this woman, theoretically, has the opportunity and the potential to change into a person who will not cheat on their partner, right? Like growth, change. It can happen. However, that growth and change is never going to happen in the relationship she just violated.
Yeah. True.
And I will leave it at that.
True. Update 3. I got served divorce papers today, and 16 days later, this feels like a nightmare. I keep telling myself it's not real, and I'm going to wake up. My husband moved out 2 weeks ago, ostensibly to live with another woman.
Oh, shut up.
But I kept eyes and ears on him. Had some friends tell me his going-ons, and seemingly there was no other woman at all. I hoped he was just collecting his thoughts and that he would come back to me. But today he did it. He had me served. I don't want to believe he is done with us. I love him so much and I miss him every day. And Amandy96 says, I'm not sure you would expect it to happen. Was he supposed to welcome you with open arms and forget the utter betrayal you caused him? You need to be single and work on yourself. If you have access to it, talk to a counselor, group therapy, individual therapy, or something. You need to understand why your actions cause the consequences. Understand it. It's clear you don't because you're playing a victim. Still.
If you want more stories like this, search for our podcast, OK Storytime, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.